This is how I would change the problem. But this problem also could have been written like this. OK? Same thing. I would prefer, though, you guys doing exactly the way that this problem is written, because to me, it just makes a lot more sense to do -1, comma 3 plus a -1 times the vector 2, comma 4. Because now all you need to do is distribute that vector and then you can just add. And adding, I think, is much easier with negative numbers than it is subtracting with negative numbers. So your final answer is going to be -3, comma -1. Done. OK? They didn't ask you to graph it, but you should know. They didn't ask you to graph it, but as I explained in class, you should know how to graph the initial vectors, bless you, as well as what we call this would be the resultant vector. OK? Yes?
What kind of confused me is on like 13 is basically this u plus b, and like you take both of the x's and fit them in like one vector, but for this you like kind of just keep it like the same. I understand why that was. Like you literally just drag down u and you drag down b.
Right.
But yet for like u plus b, you're using -1 plus the 2. Like if you look at 13,
Yeah.
-1 like plus 2 in the vector. Like why is that?
Because it's addition.
Okay, but technically says this.
Right. But this is addition, but this vector is being multiplied by a scalar.
Okay.
So you got to multiply the scalar first, then you can add them. So you don't have to, because you could have done this like this. You could do it just like you agree with me that u plus -v is the same thing as u minus v, right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, where students make mistakes is usually with subtraction, because here's what they'll just make mistakes. What is -1 minus 2? -3. But a lot of students have trouble subtracting with negative numbers, so they make a mistake. But you could do the subtraction. Remember adding? All you said, you add these, and then you add those, right? Subtraction is the same thing. -1 minus 2. That's -3. 3 minus 4 is -1. It's the same thing. All I'm telling you is it is easier when you're doing subtraction. Where students make mistakes, they'll say, oh, -1 minus 2, oh, that's -1 or -2. Like that's the most common arithmetic mistake students make, is subtracting negative numbers. So